European action returns this week with, of course, the return of the UEFA Europa Conference League. Can Mourinho's boys bounce back from that 6-1 humiliation against Bodø Glimt? We'll take a look next. That's right, folks, back once again with another prediction video today. We look forward to match number 4 over in the Europa League Conference League, over in Europa. That's right, folks, back once again with another prediction video today. We look forward to match number 4 over in the UEFA Conference League, boys and girls, and we'll get to that in just 1 second. If you're new, way have been, smash your subscribe button and keep your bang out today with all things Conference League related, Blabber Rovers related, but football related. We got it all here, boys. Under one, Ruski. That's right, of course, no rest for the wicked. The games keep on coming. Of course, now they're switching gears over to European action. And, of course, some other teams looking to bounce back, including Spurs. Of course, we got beaten by, of course, Viety's Arnhem last weekend, or last time around. But can they bounce back, of course, to get themselves in the prime spot to make their push for the qualification? But anyway, take a look at all of it in a minute. Of course, big shout out to my VRPs. They are the Patreons. Thank you for your continued support behind the scenes. But here we go. We're going to jump in the deep end, of course, get these games out there for you to predict just like me. So where are we? There we are, of course. Alashkert against Lasic, of course, last time around ended up as a 3-0 win for Lasic. Of course, they moved the chains a little bit. Lasic kicking us, taking names over in Group A. Of course, second spot right now. Of course, HJ here, Helsinki got himself battered by Maccabi Tel Aviv, who top the group right now. And of course, that massive win does them a massive boost for the goal difference in this group. Meanwhile, in Group B, of course, Famagusta drew with Flora, of course, as the two strugglers duked out to a point apiece. Of course, they'll meet again this week. Of course, Partizan Belgrade played KAA Gent, of course, and lost. Gent, of course, 100% success rate so far over in Group B. Over in Group C, of course, the shocker of the day was, of course, Bodø Glimt 6-1 demolition of Roma, who remained in second spot, of course, as we kick on forward. CSKA Sofia did lose to Zorya Lugansk, of course, who moved up to third in the table. Of course, Roma still in second, but of course, Glimt yet to taste defeat. Kicking on forward into Group D, it was Cluj against AZ Alkmaar, 1-0 win for AZ. The Dutchies, of course, taking the 3 points, of course, moving to the top of the table. Also, yet to taste defeat. Jablonec against the Randers ended up all square 2-2 in the end. Randers into third, Jablonec actually in second in the table over there right now. Meanwhile, final against Union Berlin ended up as a 3-1 win for the Dutchies. They remain unbeaten over in Group E. Of course, Union Berlin are struggling right now, but of course, it could all turn around in the second half of this group. Meanwhile, Maccabi Haifa took on Slavia Praha. It was a 1-0 win for Maccabi Haifa. They are actually second in the table, of course, and got themselves a good shot of getting out of this group. Meanwhile, Copenhagen against PAOK, of course, was a 2-1 win for PAOK, the Greek side coming out on top and remain, of course, on top of Group S. Bratislava did beat the Gibraltars there. Lincoln Red Imps 2-0 win for them, as of course they've yet to taste a point. NS Mura did lose to Stav Rennes, of course, over in difficult Group G right now, as Rennes remain unbeaten. Of course, kicking ass, taking them. Viety's Arnhem did beat Spurs 1-0 win to go above them, and 2 points clear at the moment, and them over in Group G. And then finally into Group H, we of course have got Qarabağ. They did beat Qarabağ, of course, to go second in the table, with of course Basel beating. I mean, I got the one bang on the nose, folks. 3-1 in the end. Of course, that's my picks. Do I want to count up how many do I've got? I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. It's not good enough. 5. I got 5, which is pretty terrible, if I'm honest with you. It doesn't even get me on the board here. Absolutely shit show. A lot of you guys got, look at this guy, Dr. YouTube and Games. I got 10. They got 10. Oh my days, 10 out of what, how many is it, 16 or something? I don't know. I did very, very bad. But of course, the grand scheme of things, though, this looks at the table right here right now. Of course, Game Charlie leads the charge, 31 points on the board, 47 is in second. Of course, Biancamono's up there in third, alongside Shedder on Vincent Long and Winky, kicking ass and taking names. That's, of course, after match number 3. Of course, it could all change into match number 4, so we're going to take a look at it in a second. And here's a recap of those tables. Of course, as you see, Maccabi Tel Aviv top the charts over in Group A. Gent are in charge in B, Bodø Glimt are in charge in Group C. Into D, we've got AZ Alkmaar running away with that at the moment to get a Feyenoord as well. Both Dutch sides are looking to get themselves one step closer this week. PAOK as well in charge over in Group F. Into Group G is Rennes, and then finally is Basel. Spurs languishing in third in their group. So, of course, hopefully they can turn it around. But if not, so be it. Of course, get involved with the Prediction League. It's free to enter /ECL picks. Of course, if you're joining now, you've got a long way to do, a lot of work to do. But of course, you could win the weekly Prediction League. Get your name in likes, of course, and and show these predictors that you've got the real deal, and you'll be watching, and of course maybe keep on predicting, and maybe one day challenge, of course. Anyway, of course, let's get into the next round of matches. Of course, we're going to kick it all off with these matches, which do take place Thursday, November the 4th. I mean, the majority, if not all of them. We're going to start with LASK, of course, up against Alashkert. Of course, now these two sides have played each other at least once. Of course, that was just last time around. But coming into this, LASK have 42% form right now. Just one loss in the past 3 games. Of course, meanwhile, Alashkert coming to this without winning 5. Of course, 3 defeats and 2 draws in all competitions. Of course, last time around was the 3-0 for LASK. So, of course, that was the last match in the old Conference League. Meanwhile, LASK did beat Tyrol over in the Austrian Cup, the round of 16. It was a 2-1 win. Meanwhile, Alashkert did draw with Noah Raven last round over in the domestic league. Of course, coming at you though, they've got the domestic matches this weekend. Of course, both sides are anticipated. In fact, I think LASK are anticipated to lose on Halloween against Rapid Vienna. Meanwhile, Alashkert will take on Van. I don't have any odds on that one, but I've got odds on this game. Of course, 61 is your LASK on this one, 31 is your Alashkert, and 32 is your draw. So the hosts are your favourites. I'm going to go 2-0 win for the hosts as well. Kicking forward, Maccabi Tel Aviv will take on HJK Helsinki. Same group. Of course, these two sides again have played each other at least once, but they've played each other 3 times, according to my knowledge, since 2004. 2 wins for Maccabi Tel Aviv, no wins for HJK Helsinki. Of course, coming into this, Maccabi Tel Aviv, 42% form for them right now. Of course, just 1 win though in the last 3. Meanwhile, HJK Helsinki given us 3 wins in the past 4 games. Of course, that one defeat was probably the game against Maccabi Tel Aviv. Last time around, in Tel Aviv was a 1-0 win. That was, of course, back in August 2004. That was in the Champions League qualification round. Second round, of course, Tel Aviv did lose to Ashot over in the domestic league, of course. So HJK Helsinki, they did their back-to-back wins following that loss to Maccabi Tel Aviv last round. So back-to-back domestic wins. So they've got the winning mentality back. But of course, will it stretch into this game? Because 5-2 is your odds for the home team on this one. 50-4 is your draw. 32 is your away win. HJK Helsinki 1-0 win for Tel Aviv on this one to take it to the house. Next up, of course, we have Flora. They're going to be taking on Anorthosis. Famagusta, of course, from Cyprus. Now, these two sides play each other just the one time, of course, that was last time around. Of course, Thailand came to this unbeaten in the last 5 games, picking up 2 wins and 3 draws. As for Famagusta, they came to this just 1 win in 4 for them, 42% form right now. Of course, last time around was a 2-2 draw over in Cyprus as well. Of course, Thailand did beat Tartu. It was a 9-0 win. Good discretion over the domestic flight, of course, just the other day. Meanwhile, Famagusta also beat Omanina Nicosia on the road as well. Look at the odds on this one. We've got odds of, what do we got? 11-8 on is your, 11-8 is your Thailand. Of course, 2-1 is your Famagusta, and 12-5 is draw. So it's quite tight. But I think the hosts are your favourites on this one. I'm going to go with the 1-1 draw, though, right down the middle. I cannot separate the two sides. Next, of course, we have KAA Gent against Partizan Belgrade over in Group B. Now, again, they play each other just the one time. We'll talk about that in a minute, of course. But Gent coming to just 1 defeat past 6 games. 83% form for them right now. Meanwhile, Partizan Belgrade also 83% form, 83% form, 1 defeat to the past 6 for them as well. Of course, last time around it was a 1-0 win for Gent in Belgrade. However, this time around, heading into this, of course, Gent did beat Belsa Blitzen over in the Belgian Cup in the round of 32 there. Of course, they also beat Genk not too long ago. So back to back is actually 4 clean sheets on the bounce for Gent heading into this one. As for Partizan Belgrade, they did beat Metalec last round. They also beat TSC Baka as well, of course, since that 1-0 loss to Gent. Of course, looking at this one, let's take a look at the odds then, shall we? Got 2017 on as you get. They are your red hot favourites. 5-2 is draw. 60-5 is your wave, and that's Partizan. 3-0 win though for me for Gent to take it to the house. Zorya Lugansk, they're going to be taking on CSKA Sofia. Of course, if I can find it, there we go. Also taking place on the 4th of November. Played each other 3 times since 2019. 2 wins for Lugansk, nothing for CSKA Sofia, and 1 draw. Of course, Lugansk coming to this just 1 defeat the past 5 games, 67% form for them right now. Meanwhile, also 1 defeat the past 6 for CSKA Sofia, 67% form for them as well right now. Last round over in Lugansk was a 1-0 win for Lugansk. That was back in Europa League back in 2019. Of course, back-to-back clean sheets for Lugansk over CSKA Sofia, including that defeat last round. Of course, Lugansk coming to this also 3 wins on the spin and 3 clean sheets on the bounce. Of course, as for CSKA Sofia, 2 clean sheets as well on the bounce. And of course, that narrow loss to Lugansk last time out. Of course, look at the odds on this one. We have even Stevens is your Zorya, Lugansk on this one, 30-5 is your draw, 5-2 is your way win. That's CSKA Sofia. I'm going to go with a 2-1 win for Sofia on this one. Probably not. You probably should go with the Zorya Lugansk. Next, of course, we have Roma. Of course, want to get bounced back, bit of revenge maybe up against Bodø Glimt. Of course, coming at you from Norway. This is over in Rome. Of course, a picture is just a one time, and of course, they will want to forget it. It was a 6-1 loss last round in Norway. However, Roma coming to this just 1 win in 4 for them, 58% form for them right now. Meanwhile, Bodø Glimt coming to this 83% form, just one draw in the past 5. However, they haven't lost in the last 17 matches. They are unbeaten and kicking ass and taking names. Of course, coming into this one, though, Roma did beat Cagliari 2-1. Of course, in Serie A, of course, Bodø Glimt did beat Molde, of course, over in Norway. Of course, Bodø Glimt will take on Sandefjord this weekend and expected a run riot on that one. Of course, Roma expected to play AC Milan, narrowly favoured to win that game. Look at the odds on this one, though. We've got Bodø Glimt, of course, 11-2 for the victory. Roma's 94 on for the victory. 7-2 is your draw. This could be the first defeat in a long time for Bodø Glimt and a bit of revenge for Mourinho. 3-0 in the end. Of course, AZ Alkmaar will entertain, of course, CFR Cluj also on this match day. Of course, the Dutchies up against the Romanians, locking odds for the second time. The first one, of course, went in favour of AZ Alkmaar. Alkmaar coming to just one defeat past 6 games, of course, 83% form for them right now. That defeat, we'll talk about that in a minute. Of course, as for CFR Cluj, 2 wins and 2 defeats past 4 games, 58% form for them heading into this one. Of course, AZ did lose to Groningen last time over in the Eredivisie. CFR Cluj picked up a 2-0 win over Sepski Osic last time around. Of course, this weekend, of course, Alkmaar will take on Zorya, expected to win. As for CFR Cluj, they take on Voltari. They're also expected to win. As for the odds on this one, 11-4 on is your AZ, of course, 50-4 is your draw, 7-1 is your long shots. That's, of course, CFR Cluj. I'm going with the hosts. 2-1 win on this one. Randers will take on Jablonec, of course. Same group. Of course, these two sides play each other at least once, of course, than it was last time around. Randers coming to this, haven't lost in the last 6, picking up 3 wins and 3 draws. 75% form for them right now. Jablonec haven't won in the last 6, picking up 3 draws, though, in the last 4 games. 25% form for them right now. Just 1 defeat past 4. Of course, last time around, a 2-2 draw. Of course, Randers coming to the back of that 4-0 win over Middelfart. Of course, Randers did also beat Arias. So back-to-back clean sheets for Randers domestically. Meanwhile, Jablonec did lose to Plitzen. 5-0 loss last time around. So yeah, not in good form. As for the odds on this one, what do we have on this? We have Randers. Just bloody lost them. There they are. 11-10 on for the victory. 45 is your Jablonec and 13-5 is your draw. I'm going to go with Randers as well. 1-0 win at home to move the chains. Next, of course, we have Union Berlin up against Feyenoord. Of course, probably one of the bigger games of the weekend. Of course, over in Germany. Bundesliga up against Eredivisie. They've at least played once, of course, and it was a win for Feyenoord. Of course, Union Berlin coming to just 1 defeat past 4 games for them, 58% form. Meanwhile, Feyenoord 1 defeat past 6, 75% form for them right now. Of course, it was a 3-1 win last round over in Feyenoord. However, it's going to be a different story this round, I'm sure. Of course, Berlin coming to this on the back of that 3-1 win over Mannheim in the Deutsche Pokal this week. Of course, Feyenoord picked up a 3-2 win over Cambuur last round over in the Dutchlands. Of course, look at the odds on this one. What do we have on this? We have Union Berlin 21-20 for the victory, 23-10 is your away win, 13-5 is your draw. The hosts are your favourites. I'm going to go with the hosts as well with a 2-1 win to take it. Next, of course, we have Slavia Praha against Maccabi Haifa. Of course, same match day, same day as well. Play each other just the one time. We'll talk about that in a minute. Of course, 42% form for Slavia Praha, just 1 defeat past 4 for them. Meanwhile, Maccabi Haifa 3 wins and about 6-7% form for them over the last 6. Slavia Praha haven't lost in any of the last 12 home matches, of course, so they'll be fancying their chances on this one. Of course, they did lose though to Maccabi Haifa last time round. Of course, that was in Israel. Of course, Slavia Praha picked up a 1-0 win over Olomouc over in the domestic flight last time around. Meanwhile, of course, Maccabi Haifa beat Netanya over in, of course, Israel as well. Back-to-back clean sheets in all competitions for Maccabi Haifa heading into this one. 20-11 on is Slavia Prague, 3-1 is draw, 92-4 is your away win. I'm going to go with the hosts as well, 2-0 win on this. Next, of course, we have the Gibraltars up against Slavia Bratislava. That's right, played each other 3 times in 2021. No wins for Lincoln Red Imps, 2 wins for Slavia Bratislava and 1 draw. They played each other 3 times, of course. Slavia Bratislava coming to this 100% form, haven't lost in the last 8 games. Meanwhile, Gibraltar's very own Lincoln Red Imps, 2 wins in the past 3 games, just 1 defeat. Of course, that 1 defeat was probably against Slavia Bratislava. Last round over in Gibraltar was a 3-1 win. That was for Slavia Bratislava. That was back in August 2021. That was actually this will be the 4th time they played each other this year. Wow, that's a statistic for you. Of course, they did pick up a draw though in Slavia Bratislava, but not last time around. It was a 2-0 loss. Of course, Lincoln Red Imps did have actually started their season at long last, and they beat Lynx 7-1 last round. So maybe they'll have their shooting boots on. Of course, Slavia Bratislava picked up a 5-0 win over Slavia 2 Tolske in the cup competition round 4. Look at the odds on this one. Lincoln Red Imps 5-1 for the victory, 2-1 is your Slavia Bratislava, 65 is your draw. They might snake it here, but I can't see it. 3-0 win in the end. PAOK will take on FC Copenhagen. Another bit of a banger here. Of course, these two sides played each other 2 times in 2013. 2 wins for PAOK, nothing for Copenhagen, and 0 draws. PAOK have come to just 1 defeat past 6 games. As for Copenhagen, they haven't won in the last 4 games. Of course, 2 defeats in a quick succession, 50% form for them right now. Last time around, of course, over in Copenhagen, it was a 2-1 win for PAOK. The other game that I did mention was a friendly, so it doesn't really count anyway. Of course, PAOK coming to the back of that loss against Olympiacos Olympiacos over in the Superliga over in Greece. ASK Copenhagen, they also lost against Brøndby last time around as well. So both sides coming in on the back of a defeat. So they look to get a victory as well. 11-8 on is your PAOK, of course. 9-5 is your away win. 5-2 is yours. Quite tight in the old bookies odds on this one, but I'm going to go with the Copenhagen on this one. 2-1 win on the road. Next away, of course, Stal Rennes against NS Mura, of course, over in Group G. Of course, play each other just one time. Stal Rennes coming to 5 wins in the match, 92% form. They look very, very good domestically and, of course, in Europe. Up against Mura, 33% form, just 1 win in 6 for them, of course. So looking good. In fact, no, haven't lost in 7. That's Rennes. Of course, last time around was a 2-1 win for Rennes. That was over in Mura. Of course, Rennes picked up a 1 win over Strasbourg last time around. Of course, Mura lost to Bravo Ljubljana over in the domestic cup quarter-final stages already on this one. Look at the odds on this one. What do we have on this one? We have Rennes 7-1 on for the victory, 7-1 is your draw, 42-1 is your long shots. That's Mura. Rennes will win this one quite handsomely, 3-0 win as well. Spurs will, of course, get a bit of revenge, maybe against VT's Arnhem, of course, in the Edeblade on the Shader Eredivisie. Of course, last time around it was a victory for VT's, but of course, they'll be locking horns at the Panty new stadium. Of course, 6-7% form for Spurs right now, just 1 win in 3 for them. As for VT's, just 1 defeat past 5, 58% form for them right now. Of course, it was 1-0 win last time around. Of course, Spurs picked up a win against Burnley in the cup. However, they lost to, of course, West Ham in the league last time around. They'll take on United. That's Man United this weekend, of course. VT's did lose to Go Ahead Eagles last time around. Of course, we'll be looking to bounce back this weekend as well. Of course, VT's are 10-1 for the victory. Tottenham are 4-1 on for the victory. 90-4 is your draw. Spurs will win this one as well, comfortably 3-0 win. They'll get a bit of bounce back ability, and of course, put them because they need a win because they're struggling. As for, of course, Kariat will take on, of course, Qarabağ in the game of the cool names, of course, over in Kariat. Of course, these two sides play at least once. Of course, that was, of course, last time around. Kariat comes to 1 defeat past 6 games, 75% form for them right now. As for Qarabağ, also 1 defeat past 6, 75% for them also right now. Coming at you though, of course, it was a 2-1 win last time around in Qarabağ. Of course, Kariat did draw with Shetshu over the domestic flight there, and they've got 1, 2, 3 clean sheets of the bounce. As for Qarabağ, they come to the back of a loss against Salibel over in the domestic league as well. Look at the odds on this one. Kariat 95 for the victory, 75 is your away win, and 25 is your draw. Tight. Going to go with Qarabağ on this one. Slight favoured. Yeah, they are slightly favoured. And of course, finally, it's Armenia Nicosia up against FC Basel. If I can bloody find it, there it is. Over in Cyprus, of course. Now these two sides play each other at least once. Of course, we'll talk about it in a minute. Armenia Nicosia, of course, managed by Henningberg, just 1 win in 6 games. Goodness gracious me, 17% form for them right now. As for Basel, just 1 defeat past 6, 75% form for them right now as well. Of course, 3-1 win last time over in the Swiss. Of course, Armenia Nicosia did lose to Anorthosis Famagusta in the domestic league last round. They also lost to PAOK as well. They haven't scored in 2 games, so they're looking for a bit of a goal. Basel picked up a loss, in fact, a shot loss against Utul Kariyaj over in the Swiss Cup. Maybe they're focusing on the league. Of course, coming at you though, the odds on this one. What do we have on this? We have, Nicosia 5-2 for the victory, even Stevens to Basel 35 draw. Basel are your favourites. That's why I'm going to go with a 2-0 win in the end to give a big old win for Basel, and of course close in on maybe qualification for the knockout stages. Of course, this is the first time we've won this competition, so we'll see about that. That's it, my friends. That is it. Be sure to get involved. Get using the code here, cut/ECL picks. It's all a bit of fun, but of course you're going to have a bit of bragging rights if you win this week. And of course, as we head into the match day number 5 after this. Until then, give us some love and smash your thumbs up, smash your subscribe. Check out the links down below on Twitter, Twitch, Facebook, and of course Patreon as well. But until then, we're done.